Let me go into something. What actually happened? Now this is in the Egyptian text, it's in the Greek text, it's in the Sumerian text, it's also in the Hebrew text, before the Hebrew cut off half of the text when they became a religion. Before they were a religion, there was a vast educational system out of Ethiopia. By the time they went into Egypt and came out with Akhenaten, they had lost a lot of their particular information, and because they didn't have the actual mystery school to teach them, they cut off a lot of the stuff. But there's a lot of other creation before it get down to the regular Judeo-Christian creation. But the religions are all fake. They only tell you part of it. Let's go through the original story on what happened in the cosmos. In the cosmos, you got the Great Mother. The Great Mother gives birth to 7 stars. The chief star, the number 8 star, which was also the first star, was called Sirius. One of the sisters at another level was called Sophia. Lilith in Hemmitt in Egypt, Lilith, or either a form of Maya. Just different mythologies have the different names. Went off and had a child by herself. That child was halfway created. We're talking about energy. This child came to this part of the universe and set up, barricaded himself off to a small portion of the universe. I must validate this stuff for you so you can understand this. First of all, you can get the parts of that stuff in the other Bible. The stuff that they call Gnosticism. See, the Book of the Dead, we thought, the Afrocentric people thought, the Book of the Dead was like the main religious book of Egypt. What they didn't realize is the Egyptians or the Kamites and the ancient people never had one book. See, these are modern people looking back with modern eyes trying to understand the ancient world. So because they saw the Book of the Dead, all the Afrocentric scholars are saying this is the Egyptian main book. The Egyptians didn't have one damn book. This is just the pyramid text. That's all that shit is. And this particular book explains the pantheon and a form of the journey of Heru or Horus, but it doesn't really go into the real theology. That's why you ain't had nobody being able to teach you that shit. This is a ritual book for the priests. And yes, the only person who explained it, Gerald Massey did. You can get part of the mythology in his book, the Egyptian Book of the Dead by Gerald Massey, which is also, you can get, he explains it. But my point is the real theology is within some stuff called Hermeticism, later on named Gnosticism. And what they did is they took the real shit and they translated it into Coptic, and in 1945, they dug it up and it's called Gnosticism, and that's the true pharaonic thought. So now we know what the pharaohs said about the universe. And it's simple. This particular deity that was created by one of the sisters of the god was halfway created. He jumped out the side of his mama womb. The Dogon talk about the same thing. The Egyptians talk about it later on too. They just named it Set to get back at the older people. See, when you want to get in a fight with other people, you name your devil their god. It's some real fucked up shit. Excuse the expression. So the word Set is one of the ancient deities. The later things shouldn't be named that, but that's the way they do things. That's when we start messing up. You name your god, you name your devil somebody else's god that you don't like. So this is how they Set thing. Set is the oldest name of the deity of the heaven. When the Great Mother had her first child, it was Set, which is a form of Sirius, the first of 7 stars. So, somewhere in the constellation of Orion, because Osiris is in the constellation of Orion, one of the sisters went off and had a child by herself, through mistake, I guess. But it wasn't balanced with the both energies of the male and female energy, or the energies of the god. And this child was halfway created, a renegade, a psychotic entity that came down and created a small section of the universe for himself and barricaded himself off. And that's your planetary spheres that we have here. He had a group of helpers with him And they came and they created a semi-physical earth. As a result, they created both a male and a female body. And they wanted the body to worship it. Now God, or the Most High, both the male and the female energy, mainly the male energy this time, because there's still a great mother. This is a chain. There's her son said, well, I got to come down and I got to clean this shit up. So he comes down. The sister Sophia, realizing what's happened, she understands her son. The son is a halfway created entity. He doesn't have the full powers of God, but he has enough power to create his own universe. He creates his universe, and he creates a group of physical beings in it. And he says, now I am God. I am a jealous God, and I shall have no God before me. But his mother Sophia said, a Dalabra, a Yahweh, a Zeus. Don't lie, there is a God above you, and he lives on earth. What had happened was the Most High came down, and Sophia, when he was fashioning man, she tricked him. She said, you need to breathe your essence into him. And he breathed his essence, this subordinate deity I'm talking about, breathed his essence in man, and the Most High God came through him into the man and broke himself up in the crystal and put himself in the flesh of all of the original people. So the original creation became higher than the person who created it. Wait a minute, didn't I just read that on page 81? Wait a minute, I got to back this shit up. Look at it.
It's in there. It's in there.
Look. I went about with her in the glory. This is Adam going about with Eve after they were created. And she had seen the eons for which we had come forth. She taught me about the world and the knowledge of the eternal God. And we remembered the great eternal angels, for we were higher than the God who created us. And the powers with him, the ones say, let us make man, whom we did not know. The God, the ruler of the eon and the powers, delivered us, divided us in wrath, and became 2 or 3 eons. But anyway, it goes on to say that this subordinate deity, which you pray to every Sunday, is lower than you. The deity that consists of you praying to it is a lower entity that wants to keep you in slavery. That's why he said, eat from all the trees but the tree of life. The tree of life is nothing but the spiritual breakdown of your body. He said, don't eat the apple. They bit into the apple, or they ate the tree of life, and what happened? Their eyes became open and they saw. Samuel the serpent was the kundalini energy that they tapped into. He didn't want them to tap into their energy because he knew if they tapped into their higher energy, which was bestowed upon them from the Most High, they would become higher than him. We now have the true whole story. The evil serpent is called Samuel, venom of God. He's against the high God, but he's midway point. He's a subordinate deity. He's a subordinate deity. Hold on. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. See if it's, he's a subordinate deity, which means he's lower than the original host of heaven, but he's higher than you, and because you lost the knowledge, you are worshiping him, thinking he's your father, when you're supposed to be becoming God yourself, because the Father in heaven is now down here. That's the Satan mystery. Now go to the Osirian list. You can put this all together through different mythology. Osiris, what happened when he was put back together, or he was breathed life into Isis? What happened to him? He went to a mentor and became the lord of the judge of the underworld. Where the hell is Satan supposed to be? Under the earth supposed to be. So Osiris and it is the same thing. You understand where I'm coming from here? The underworld. But the underworld is actually talking about the earth, just the lower world, which we are in this particular underworld. It's talking about us.